Welcome to the Henry Ford's Innovation Nation. I'm Mo Rocca, and we are going to take you for the ride of your life. Coming up, how painting with light can brighten your night. Little Mo Peep shears some sheep. Gaining mucho miles by losing a wheel. And the hottest way to clean water with water. Now on the Henry Ford's Innovation Nation. So let's talk about paint. When you think of great innovations, paint usually isn't at the top of the list. Although I'm guessing there was lots of hoopla when they came up with eggshell. Now the paint world is about to have a huge light shine upon it. And that light is the paint. Here's Allie Ward to explain.
Artists put in a lot of love and time when it comes to creating mobile works of art. The trouble is, in motor vehicle applications, that beauty vanishes after dark. Until now. At a company called Darkside Scientific, you could say they paint with light, an invention known as Lumalure. I wanted to meet the team behind the light, so I traveled to Medina, Ohio. This is the Darkside Scientific team. Artists, engineers, entrepreneurs. Andy Zinko is the company co-founder and the inventor of Lumalure. He's no stranger to the garage, having spent hours at his dad's auto body shop over the years, all the while honing his skills.
Do you consider yourself more of an artist who is looking for a solution to creative automotive paints, or more of an engineer or chemist?
Actually, a mix of both.
Yeah?
Really. Yeah, because it takes a bit of both to envision what kind of things you can do with it, but you have to go to the engineering side to figure out how to do it.
Lumalure is a patented, sprayable, electroluminescent coating technology that is energized with an electrical current. In other words, it's a glow-in-the-dark paint technology that could be applied to whatever you could imagine. Motorcycles, cars, semis, even airplanes.
This was the first primitive attempt that worked. This was actually after about 200 trial and errors that actually got this panel to light very dimly.
Since this technology means just about anything could be made into a lamp, I had to ask.
Is there anything that you're like, that would be better if it were?
You know, actually, I've got a crew that does that better than I do. It's fascinating to watch the things that they come up with. I really started the process, and they've made it their own. They picked up a ball and run with it, and they've done things that utterly amaze me.
I wanted to get a closer look, so I shadowed application technician Mike Weiland, who agreed to show me the dark side, marshmallow suit and all. Mike mixed the Lumalure coating, then we were ready to go to the paint booth.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
All right, welcome to my office.
Wow. It's like a spaceship in here.
Today we're going to do the Lumalure coating process.
Okay.
First one is going to be our backplane, which is our conductive layer. Second one's going to be our dielectric, which is our insulator. Next one's going to be our Lumalure color, which is going to get lit at the end with our conductive clear. So, you ready?
Yep.
All right.
Okay, I think I did it.
Okay.
Oh, oh my gosh, it's already starting to glow. That is gorgeous. That looks like the glowing ocean. Look, it lights up your whole face.
Right.
Ah!
I believe we have a little surprise for you.
Mike wanted to show me that almost anything could be made into a lamp. Plastic, wood, metal, and even glass. And later, the finished product.
Oh my gosh, there's some bows on it. This is amazing and gorgeous. Yeah, I'm never going back to Los Angeles.
Unless, of course, someone is willing to light my ride. Then maybe I'll reconsider.
Coming up, putting an old wrinkle in that new sweater. How one man plus 3 wheels equals the future. And magnifying the world's water problem. But first, it's time for the Mo You Know. Post-it notes, those semi-sticky tabs of paper, were invented by mistake. What was the co-inventor trying to make? Was it A, a super strong glue, B, reusable paper, or C, a spider trap? To find out the answer, you'll need to stick around. You know, stay glued to your seat. All right. Just don't go anywhere. Welcome back. Thanks for staying affixed to your television. Before the break, we asked what the co-inventor of Post-it notes was trying to make before he accidentally came up with those sticky tabs of paper. If you said A, you are correct. Dr. Spencer Silver, a scientist at the 3M Corporation, was attempting to come up with a super strong adhesive. He instead created a very weak glue that was pressure sensitive and reusable. Later, a co-worker, Arthur Fry, became a co-inventor when he had the heavenly idea of using the glue on a bookmark for his church hymnal. Post-its were born, and since then, those sticky little reminders have decorated millions of refrigerators, computers, and foreheads. And that's the Mo You Know. I'm gonna tell you a little story. This girl, Mary, had a little lamb. Its fleece was white as snow, and everywhere that Mary went, that lamb was sure to go. There they go. Of course, Mary's lamb may have had a little bleach job and a little Botox, but here at the Henry Ford, wrinkled sheep are all the rage. Mankind has been using sheep for their fleece, used to make wool, for thousands of years. Because it's so soft, the most sought-after wool comes from the breed known as merino. Way back in the day, farmers figured out that if their merino sheep had more folds of skin, which looked like wrinkles in the fleece, they could produce more wool, and the farmers could make more money.
The innovation of the merino breed started probably in the first part of the 19th century when the farmers started selectively breeding the wrinkly sheep with other wrinkly sheep and producing these grotesquely wrinkled sheep. The wool was sold by the pound, so the more skin and surface area that you'd have on your sheep, the more wool you would produce per animal. So it's a very economical way to maximize your profit.
Originally, to harvest the wool, farmers had to carefully shear sheep by hand. But in the 1920s, mechanical shearing was invented. When that happened, the merino's wrinkly fleece became a problem. So the farmers bred those wrinkles out of merino sheep to make it faster and easier for the electric shears to do their job. And the wrinkled merinos soon disappeared. Or did they? Here in Greenfield Village at the Henry Ford, farmers raise these rare and wrinkled merino sheep. I talked with the Henry Ford's Brian Egan and Brian Spencer to find out how they brought back these crinkly cuties. Why does the Henry Ford have sheep?
We are trying to authentically furnish what a 19th century sheep farm would have looked like.
And you all bred them to look this way.
Right, we've been backbreeding these sheep for over 30 years to look like sheep from 1885. It really is a source of pride for us.
Backbreeding means restoring genetic traits to an animal so it resembles its ancestor. Can't be easy shearing those deep wrinkles.
It's not easy. You have to navigate all the folds of skin and pull the skin taut, lay the blade shears down. It's not easy.
Thank goodness I don't have to do it.
They say you have to have a strong back and a weak mind to be a good shearer.
I'm willing to teach you if you're willing to learn.
You have a few hours to spare?
I think my mind is weak enough to handle it.
Oh, okay, fantastic.
Sheep are domesticated animals and rely on humans to shear their fleece. Otherwise, it would get too thick and heavy, causing health problems for the animal. Ryan brought out a sheep which looks gray because its skin secretes a waxy grease called lanolin that protects the wool and picks up a lot of dirt. All right, so what are you going to cut off?
So we're not going to cut anything today.
We're not going to cut you.
She gets one good haircut a year, and she had that about 6 months ago. So in another few months, she'll have a nice long fleece that she'll be ready to get rid of. Now if you look through here, after you get past the head, you have all these wrinkles, all these jowls. And look how gray that is right at the top.
And the gray is the lanolin or dirt?
That's dirt that the lanolin attracted.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And then as you go closer in, it's nice and white.
Oh, look at
nice
that.
Nice and white.
So she got herself bleached.
Yeah.
Sorry, she would. Oh. Since our sheep didn't need a trim, Ryan asked me to help carry it back into the barn with the rest of the flock.
Here she goes. All right. Whew. Nicely done. Nicely done.
And they all seemed very relieved I wasn't the one holding the shears. Next, move over, hybrid cars. Here comes the Tribrid, and focusing a light on the quest for clean water. That and more coming up. But now, here's more of the Mo You Know. You've heard the term, it's the best thing since sliced bread. But just how long has the bread slicing machine been around? Was it invented in A, 1852, B, 1928, or C, 1954? We'll have that answer right after you make yourself a quick sandwich. And if you don't mind, while you're in there, I'll have a pastrami on rye with a skosh of brown mustard. Thanks. Welcome back, and thanks for that, Sammy. Just moments ago, we asked what year the bread slicing machine was invented. Now, if you said 1928, you rise to the top. Iowa inventor Otto Rohwedder had originally built a prototype bread slicer in 1912, but it was destroyed in a fire. It wasn't until 1928 that he had a working slicer ready to introduce to the world. His simple yet ingenious idea greatly increased bread consumption, since it was so easy to grab another piece. This also helped drive other industries, like the manufacturing of jams and spreads. That's a slice of history that we like to call the Mo You Know. Wheels. They're so overrated. Sure, all cars have 4 of them, because if you only had 3, then, well, it would... You know, let's let Adam Yamaguchi explain.
We've been driving cars for over 100 years. Advances in design and technology have made them sleeker, faster, and more fuel efficient. But they've always had 4 wheels to be called a car. Even though this looks like a fancy motorcycle, it is in fact a car with 3 wheels. It seats 2 people, gets 84 miles per gallon on the highway, and only costs $6,800. It's called the Elio, and it's the auto innovation of Paul Elio, who dreamed of having his own car company as a kid. I made the trip to Troy, Michigan, outside of Detroit, Motor City, to see how they could possibly build a car today for the same price as a new one in 1979.
So this is the prototype shop in Metro Detroit where the first Elios have been made.
So tell me a little bit about your background. How did you get to where we are today?
Well, I've been an entrepreneur all my life. I mowed 130 lawns a week when I was a kid, called it Elio & Associates, Attorneys at Lawn. I had a pizzeria briefly, but I didn't give up. And then eventually I went back to school for engineering and found my passion.
It took a while for that passion to turn into a paying job. He did work in the auto industry as a taxi cab driver, and he did become an engineer. But a company he started went out of business in 2008. Paul couldn't pay his bills, and nobody would hire him.
I had hundreds of resumes out from high-end jobs that I was qualified for down to baristas at the local coffee shop. I could not get an interview.
Those impediments inspired him to take a risk, and with some financial help from a college friend, Paul started Elio Motors to build a compact, fuel-efficient car, perfect for commuters and students, at a price you can afford and still keep that SUV in the driveway.
And here it is, the Elio.
Wow. Now, this looks like it's just been delivered from the future.
In configuration it is, but it's all current technology. So the inspiration is at highway speeds, most of your fuel goes to movement air. So by sitting 2 people front to back instead of side by side, we double the mileage. So this vehicle gets 84 miles per gallon.
Wow. How safe is it going to be to drive this vehicle?
It's all automotive technology throughout. The airbags are the same as in a whole bunch of other vehicles. So it's got a front airbag and 2 side airbags. If you notice, it has a very long nose, and that's for crush zone. We have a very good crush zone to slow the accident down.
Paul highlighted some of the innovations that he hopes will make the Elio an affordable, fuel-efficient car. From a hood design that uses $3 latches versus a standard latch that costs $33, to a straight-edge rear fin that's more aerodynamic than a curved one. to even trimming 1.5 inches off the tire width to give you 2 more miles to the gallon.
Are you going to be comfortable back there?
Absolutely.
Paul easily climbed into the back, while I took the pilot's seat.
You feel that the car is just sort of wrapped around you. Now, how fast will I be able to drive one of these?
The 0 to 60 is 9.6 seconds, and the top speed is 107 miles an hour.
107 miles an hour?
Yes, so you can get a healthy ticket in this thing.
Even though cars won't roll off the production line until next year, you can pre-order one now online. And there's one thing for sure, it's the perfect car for doing donuts.
After a short break, raising the bar and plastic on a life-changing class project. That and vocabulary are up next on the Henry Ford's Innovation Nation. One of the biggest challenges facing mankind is getting clean drinking water for the 7 billion people who populate this planet. You've heard the term fight fire with fire? Well, there's one young man who's figured out how to clean water with water. For some of us, access to clean drinking water is as easy as this. But for 1 in 7 people on the planet, finding any water to drink requires a lot of effort, and oftentimes arduous and even dangerous travel. So student Deshaun Henry and Professor Jim Jensen of the University at Buffalo in New York State have come up with a low-cost way to purify water that little by little could change lives. It utilizes basic materials such as wood, plastic, water, and sunlight. It's called a water lens. Professor Jensen had been working on drinking water treatment issues for years. When Deshaun heard about this research, he made it his summer project. Professor Deshaun, welcome.
Thank you, Mo.
Thanks for having us, Mo.
So what is the clean water lens?
The water lens is really just a large magnifying glass. It gathers the sunlight and concentrates it into a focal point where we heat up the container of water.
Just the way that you might use a magnifying glass to heat up a spot on a piece of paper.
As you can see, pouring water onto the top of the plastic creates a type of lens. Then, by placing a container of water beneath that lens, properly positioned to capture the angle of the sun, the water beneath the lens begins to heat.
Well, the first time anybody thinks about heating water to make it safe to drink, you always think about boiling the water, but that's absolutely not necessary at all. In fact, it takes a tremendous amount of energy to bring water to the boil and to keep it there. We typically make our water about 140 to 150 degrees Fahrenheit, and if you keep it there for about 30 minutes to about 2 hours or so, you should kill all the organisms that cause disease.
Together, Deshaun and Professor Jensen learned that difficult problems don't necessarily need complicated solutions.
So the approach we're trying to make is really to empower people, to give them very simple tools where they can use natural materials that are around their own location to treat that water for themselves.
If this was able to influence the lives of people in many of the developing countries, that would make me feel joyful inside to know that I was able to help out people in need so that way they can be able to live longer, healthier lives.
Thank you, and good luck.
Thank you.
Please don't ignore us, we have a thesaurus. Allie Ward has vocabulary next.
Welcome back. This is where I try to explain those moments in the show where you might have pretended to know what we were saying, but you were totally faking it. So I'm here to sneak you a definition or two under the table and nobody will know the difference. We call this vocabulary. In my story on the cool paint that lights up, this was said.
Today we're going to do the luminol coating process.
Okay.
first one is going to be our backplane, which is our conductive layer.
So I'm going to be honest. The definition of conductive is a teeny bit annoying, since it basically defines the word with other forms of the word. So stick with me on this. Conductive is an adjective. It means having conductivity or relating to conduction, as of electricity. But, okay, now, in a nutshell, what it really means is that the electric current moves through the conductive layer, just like when electricity moves through a wire. You got it? Okay, cool. Now, moving on. In Adam Yamaguchi's story on the three-wheeled car, he said this.
Those impediments inspired Paul Elio to take a risk.
Now, impediment is a noun. It means something that interferes with the movement or progress. So Paul Elio drove right through what was blocking him, and he came up with his own car company. It's not bad. Now, if there was an impediment to the conductivity of the light paint, well, then something is going on the blink. And that is your vocabulary for the day. I'm Allie Ward.
Hey, thanks so much for joining us today. If you want to be on the Henry Ford's Innovation Nation one day, just remember, dream big and don't quit. I'm Mo Rocca.